Okay, so if you're a Gen Z or a millennial and you think you're never gonna be able to buy a home, here's 3 ways you can buy a property that has nothing to do with a bank loan. And no, you don't need a rich uncle or gobs of cash or to break the law. Stick with me and I'm gonna show you 3 ways to buy a property that has no banks involved. And by the way, I'm Mel. I teach people how to build conscious wealth. If you're into that, hit the like and follow. Okay, so the first way you buy a property without a bank loan is called seller financing. As long as the seller has equity, then you can pay them in monthly installment payments. It's like the seller becomes the bank and you make your payment to them each month. You get to decide what the interest rate is, down payment, and everything. That's right, Gen Z, even you can buy a home. Here's the second way that you can buy a home without a bank involved. Say you change careers, you're responsible, but you can't quite get a bank loan. You need a year or 2 to build up your credit. Well, let me tell you about the lease option. A lease option is a lease with an option to buy in a few years. You put a deposit, in a few years you exercise that option, and then you can buy the property using financing. That's when you can use a bank loan or the seller can finance it through seller financing. But don't get into a lease option if you can't execute on it in a few years. And option number 3 to buy a property without getting a new bank loan is to use the bank loan that's already in place. It's called subject to. It's buying the property subject to the existing mortgage. Be careful because a lot of mortgages have a due on sales clause, meaning the bank wants all their money when you close. So that's why I only recommend this in really severe cases where somebody's about to go into foreclosure. You take over their payments, they move out, and you save them from foreclosure. If you want to learn more about how to build wealth in real estate with very little money, write freedom in the comments and I'll share my free guide on how to get started with creative financing. Bought my first triplex with $500. So write freedom in the comments. So hit the like and follow and I'll see you tomorrow.